Dating after you have done a lot of healing work can feel really strange, not exciting, not hopeful, just a little bit off. You open up a dating app, you start scrolling, and instead of feeling curiosity or possibility, you kind of feel this quiet resistance in your body. Something about it feels performative or overly curated, like everyone is presenting an identity instead of a person. There's the political declarations and the spiritual labels, the lists of what someone wants, and the even longer lists of your non-negotiables. And at some point, you kind of realize it's not because you're avoidant or you're closed off. It's that the way dating is structured no longer matches how you relate. Because if you've been doing the healing work, like the real healing work, not just mindset work, you've probably been undoing a lot of things. People pleasing, masking, overgiving, performing to be chosen, shrinking yourself to maintain connection. You've been learning how to stay safe in your own body, how to tell the truth without over-explaining, how to be present instead of scanning for approval. So of course, traditional dating feels weird now. Modern dating isn't built for presence, it's built for positioning. And when you have reoriented yourself towards wholeness, that mismatch becomes very obvious. What you're feeling isn't disinterest, it's discernment. Hi, everybody. I am Jackie Faber, and I help people navigate the messy middle of identity shifts. That's when your internal world has changed, but your external world hasn't reflected it back to you yet. So in dating, this shows up in the clearest ways. You've done the work on yourself, you found your wholeness, but the old patterns of connection and disconnection are everywhere. So here is the shift that most people don't name. Most of the dating world is organized around lack, finding someone, securing a future, locking in certainty. Even phrases that sound healthy, like I'm dating with intention or I'm looking for my forever, they carry an energetic subtext of please don't waste my time, please choose me, please make this mean something. And I want to be clear, there is nothing wrong with wanting partnership. But when dating is oriented around the future, every single interaction becomes an evaluation. Every message is measured. Every response is interpreted. Every silence means something. You're not meeting a person, you're managing uncertainty. So what needed to change for me after doing my healing work is that I had to stop relating from lack. I stopped seeing connection as something to secure, and I started to experience myself as whole, here, now, in my body. And from that place, the idea of planning permanence with a stranger felt really odd, not wrong, just premature. Because when you are fully embodied in the present, you understand something completely different. Relationships are not meant to last forever by force. They are meant to last for as long as there is growth, resonance, and truth. So when profiles are built around rigid identities and fixed futures and certainty as safety, I didn't feel inspired. I felt distance. And it's not because I was above it. It was because my nervous system no longer related that way. Sovereignty doesn't make you detached. It makes you present. And presence doesn't rush to define, to secure, or to lock things in. It kind of asks a much simpler question. Can I stay anchored in myself here? And that is the disruption. Dating stops becoming something to complete a future with and starts to become a practice of how you hold yourself in connection. So this is what it looked like when I returned to dating. There was no judgment, there's no avoidance. It was just a lack of resonance. My body wasn't leaning forward. I wasn't curious. I wasn't pulled. And all of that was new. As I was reading people's profiles, I wasn't just noticing a difference in preferences. I was noticing where things hadn't been deconstructed. And this isn't in a judgmental way. It's simply in energetic awareness. So I could sense where faith was being used as certainty instead of inquiry, where a political identity was being used as safety, where relationship goals were being used to anchor a future that hadn't even been lived yet. There was a lot of rigidity, a lot of this is who I am energy instead of this is how I relate. And the more embodied that I felt in myself, the harder it was to swipe. Not because people were wrong, but because dating is structured like window shopping for identities. You're not actually meeting human beings. So at one point, I realized I was swiping almost everybody away. And that is when I paused. Because if dating is about finding your forever person, then that makes sense, right? You filter aggressively and you eliminate quickly and you protect yourself from wasting time. But in sovereignty, if dating isn't about securing your future, if it's about being present, if it's about holding your energy and relating from wholeness, then why was I approaching it like a sorting mechanism? That is when something shifted for me. I stopped asking, is this aligned long term? And I started asking, how do I feel in my body while I'm here? Dating stopped being about them and it became a mirror for me. Then there was the actual experience of dating. So I matched with somebody and we set a date. It was simple, it was clean, it was easy. But as the days were leading up to the date, he was messaging me every single day. Nothing inappropriate, nothing wrong, just constant contact. And from my current perspective, like it felt completely unnecessary, but I understood immediately. We live in a dating culture that is shaped by ghosting and inconsistency and nervous systems that do not feel safe with space. So daily texting becomes reassurance, obligation, proof of interest. That is not connection, that is regulation. And what I noticed wasn't irritation, it was clarity. I could start to feel the difference between desire and fear, between presence and performance. So I had to make a choice. I didn't need to match the frequency. I didn't need to correct it. I didn't need to collapse or to explain. I just needed to stay with my own energy. And that was the moment that I realized something really important. Sovereignty in dating isn't about controlling the dynamic. It's about not abandoning yourself while you're inside of it. So every single interaction became information for me. Where does my body soften? Where does it tighten? Where do I feel pulled to manage or reassure or perform? And where can I stay anchored instead? Because not every interaction needs to lead somewhere. Some are simply mirrors, showing you exactly where you've integrated and showing you where there might still be a whisper of old programming. And when you are dating from wholeness, you don't need to protect yourself from every experience because you're not giving yourself away in the first place. So once you see this, it is really hard to unsee. Most of the exhaustion people feel about dating isn't about the actual people. It's about the orientation. When dating is about finding someone, every single interaction carries weight. Every message means something. Every pause feels charged. Every decision is measured against a future that hasn't happened yet. And because of that, the nervous system feels braced because it's not just a date. It's a possibility. It's a projection. It's hope. But when you have found a sense of wholeness, all of that orientation feels heavy. It's not wrong, it's just misaligned. So then the question starts to shift. Instead of, is this going somewhere? Is this aligned long term? Could this be my person? The questions become much simpler. Can I stay present here? Can I stay in my body while relating without collapsing or chasing or armoring? Can I be honest without needing a specific outcome? And I have found that when dating becomes oriented around presence instead of performance, everything softens because you're no longer trying to secure connection. You're just noticing how connection moves through you, where your body opens, where it tightens, where your energy stays anchored, and where it is reaching outside of you. Dating becomes less about evaluation and more about awareness. Because again, not every interaction needs to lead somewhere. Some connections are brief but clarifying. Some dates don't continue, but it teaches you how your energy wants to move. Some conversations simply show you what no longer fit. And none of that is failure. It means that you are relating from wholeness instead of lack. And this is the shift. Dating stops becoming a measure of your desirability, of your future, of your worth. It becomes a practice for self-relationship, of learning how to stay with yourself, even in connection, of holding your energy without hardening it or giving it away. And then from that place, something very different becomes possible, because sovereignty in dating isn't about being detached. It's about being so anchored in yourself that connection does not cost you your center. So I want to give you a couple examples of what this looks like in real time. Number one, responding from clarity instead of anxiety. So before you answer a text or a message, pause and ask yourself, am I responding from presence or performance, from a need to be chosen? Even that brief little moment, that brief shift will change your entire energetic tone. Your message will then become a reflection of your center instead of someone else's reaction. Two, let silence exist without obligation. Maybe they take longer to reply. That's okay. Sit with yourself. Maybe you feel the impulse to respond immediately, not because you need to, but because you feel obligated to keep the conversation going so that you're showing interest. You might want to reach or explain or reassure. Just notice the impulse, breathe into it, and allow the space to exist. Sovereignty is choosing presence over obligation, responding from alignment, not because you got to keep them interested. Number three, stating your boundaries clearly and simply. One of the best phrases, that doesn't work for me. Full stop. No over explaining, no softening to protect their feeling. That's not coldness, that's clarity. Your energy says, I am anchored and I am whole. Number four, learning how to feel somebody's discomfort without absorbing it. So maybe they are giving off the energy of feeling anxious or frustrated or disappointed, maybe because you said no or you didn't respond quick enough. Notice their energy, hold space for it, but do not take it in. Their nervous system is not your responsibility. Sovereignty is choosing presence over reactivity consistently. So over time, these small practices will accumulate. You're going to start to notice your patterns, where your energy leaks, where it holds up, where your old reflexes pull you into people pleasing, and where clarity actually wins. So then dating becomes less about testing and proving yourself. It becomes a mirror of your internal state, a space for experimentation, a place to actually practice being whole, even when connection is messy. So here's a question for you. Where do you notice your energy leaking in dating? Is it reaching for validation? Are you trying to smooth things over? Are you compromising yourself to keep the peace? Drop it in the comments and let's explore it together. If you have been healing and you are dating, dating does not have to be draining. It can be illuminating and grounding, even fun, when your orientation is directed to presence and clarity and alignment. If any of this landed for you, this is exactly the type of work that we practice inside of my membership space. There's guided activations and reflections and support to help your nervous system hold its new frequency. Self-trust, boundaries, sovereignty. They're not concepts in your head. They are sensations that you feel in your body. Notice, hold, reflect, integrate, and notice how your energy naturally attracts people that reflect your whole sovereign self. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next video.